going to show you how expensive groceries are in Germany. A bag of mandarins, $1.69. $2.39 for 12 eggs. Baby bills for $2.79. Oat milk for 90 cents. Bio salami for $1.99. You can get real bread for $1.19. If you get a full loaf, you can cut it right here. One salmon fillet for $3.99. You can get 3 pizzas for $3.99. There are 3 pizzas inside. Red wine for $2.49. 6 pears for $1.49. Cucumber for 69 cents. 2 pounds of meat for $6.99. Strawberries for $2.89. Yeah, are you guys ready for the craziest thing? This much toilet paper for $2.69. And then 4 pieces of kitchen towels for $2.75. I honestly have no idea why toilet paper is so expensive in the US. You can get cat food for 30 cents. Let's head over to the sweets. 1 bag of raisin for $1.79. Chips are $1.19. Olive oil for $5.99. The prices here are insane. They're so cheap. You get some Gouda for $1.95. This huge pot of Greek yogurt, $2.29. Baby food is either $1.05 or you can even get something for 75 cents. 85 pieces of diapers for $5.39. Hand soap here for 65 cents. Toothpaste for 65 cents. Okay, let me know in the comments. Do you think it's cheap or expensive to shop in Germany? Today I'm gonna show you how expensive drugstore products are in Germany. Starting out with shower gel for 55 cents. Deodorant for 60 cents. Toothpaste for 65 cents. Oh my god, this is crazy. Period pads for $1.95. Shampoo for 65 cents. I always love to show this. 10 rolls of toilet paper for $4.95. You can find a toothbrush for 75 cents. 4 hand towels for $2.95. Makeup remover for 95 cents, and it's perfume free. Hand soap for 65 cents. It's so insane. Everything is so cheap here. 85 pieces of diapers, $10.75. Baby formula for $5.25. Baby food is $1.65, and also if you want fruit, it's 95 cents. It's actually affordable to have children in Germany. Hairspray for $2.95. You can go blonde for $1.95 or brown for $1.95. This one is super cheap. Detergent for $1.95. Dry shampoo for $1.95. Face wash for $1.95. Also face cream for $1.95. $1.95 is a special number here. Cheapest hair mousse, $1.15. Makeup removing pads for 95 cents. Also, here's a cute section. If you buy something for someone, you can just pack it here for free. Shaver for $3.45. Let me know in the comments, do you think it's cheap or expensive to buy drugstore products in Germany?
So we are being lied to in America. All of these groceries we just got today, including soda, soy milk, veggies, rice, potatoes, face cream, eye cream, veggies, chicken, potatoes, coffee, tea. We got all of this for only 56 British pounds, which is about 75 USD. This would have cost $150 to $200 in America.
At the grocery store in Sweden, Maxi, obviously, and they've just got it figured out here. Like, why don't we have this system in America? Maybe they do some places, but not where I live. So this is the tea I want to buy, right? In my cart, I have a scanner. And then after I've scanned it, watch this. I can just put it into my bag already. So I don't have to go through the hassle of like waiting in line and having her like bag up my stuff. You just go into your own little area and then like you print out a receipt. I'll show you right now. Scan your ICA card. And then before you leave, you have to scan your receipt. And then you leave. Obviously, there still are cashiers if you want to do it that way. But instead of going to self-checkout and like scanning every item and then putting it in the bag, this is just so much easier. I love Sweden.
Here's what it takes to feed 6 kids in about a week and a half. You want to have 6 kids? This is your Trader Joe's receipt. Keep going. Oh my God.
You guys, the price of groceries in the U.S. is insane. I'm in Hamburg, Germany. I just spent $22.37 U.S. dollars. And let me show you what I got. Okay, first up produce. I got cherry tomatoes, 2 nectarines. And this was just like a quick little grocery run. I just got here yesterday. I was starving, so I needed something to eat. So I just picked up random stuff. Pre-made lunch bowl thing, tortellini. I got crackers, sardines, 2 types of cheese. I got a mozzarella loaf and some Gouda slices. I also got salami and hummus and a bottle of wine for $22. Are you kidding? I don't even want to think about how much this would cost in the States. Like, this could feed me for a couple days if I stretched it, you know? Crazy. I was just in New York a few days ago, and I was getting groceries at Trader Joe's, and I don't think I made it out a single time under $30. And Trader Joe's is like pretty affordable with groceries. What are we doing? This is unacceptable. Anyway, the government is not your friend. Tax the rich. That's all I have to say about it.
Let's see what I can get in Czech Republic for only $20. And yeah, this is equivalent to about $22. The first thing I'm getting is a Uber ride to the center. This ride costs about 130 Czech, which is equivalent to like $5. I'm in a supermarket and I'm gonna get this little yogurt, which is 13 Czech. And I'm also gonna get this juice, which is 29 Czech. I think this is vitamin water, but I don't know. I'm also gonna get this sandwich, which is 90 Czech. This is the total for all the items. The total of this is 58 cents. This is $1.30. And this sandwich is $4. All this together is only $5. So we have 230 Czech left, which is like $10. Quick taste test though. It's like a vitamin water. I'm gonna get these blueberries for 50 Czech. These are equivalent to about $2. I have about 180 Czech left, which is around $8. I'm gonna get me a little hot chocolate. I got the hot chocolate and it was only 60 Czech, which is $2.67. So now I only have $5 left. And with my last $5, I got goulash soup.
Can someone please tell me why potatoes in Europe are sold with literal dirt on them? How is this even allowed? Can't you catch salmonella and other diseases by eating these potatoes? Crazy.
Americans were told one thing: go to school, get an education. Then you're going to achieve your American dream. As long as you work hard, you're going to get your American dream. So the reality is, majority of people are complaining right now. They're saying life is unbearable, life is expensive, and they're wondering what is going on. Because people have like 3-4 jobs and still they're not able to pay their bills. So today we are going to talk about that, and please watch this video up to the end, because at the end we're going to discuss much more, and of course what are the conclusions. But first of all, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Please subscribe to my channel. My name is Faiza Nishika and this is People's Tea.
In Europe do not have more differences than states in America. But let's follow this thought. Let's assume that every country in Europe is so different from one another, and it has a different language, a different culture, a different political background, and they are so different from each other. Let's assume that, right? If I drive from Madrid to Prague, a 22-hour drive, I'm going to hit a completely different place. What? Madrid and Prague are totally different. They've got different cultures, they've got different languages. If I drive from California to South Carolina, which is a longer drive, could we not then assume that California and South Carolina are going to be vastly different places?
There are certain points where I don't even think there's any point making a response to these videos. I feel like the lunacy, yes, that is probably the best word to describe it. The lunacy comes across without anything needing to be said by someone else. No one is trying to tell you that South Carolina and California are not different. But do you know what they both are? They are both in the country, right, of the United States. They are 2 states that were colonized by Europeans a good 300 years ago. What I don't understand is Americans think of everything in terms of distance and size, but they don't understand the complexities of culture. Culture isn't just languages. It's not just politics. Europe is an extremely old continent with so many differences. Yes, obviously, land-wise, America is old as well. It's had people living there for hundreds, thousands of years. But as established states, settled by Europeans, you cannot compare them to different countries in Europe, which have fought wars over politics, culture, language, religion for like 1,000 years. There are countries in Europe that are half the size of one US state, which have multiple official languages. And they also have cultures that are
2 to 3 times older than the whole of the United States as an established nation. Obviously, there are more differences. There are more cultural differences between England and Scotland than the two most vastly different US states. And this is culture we're talking about specifically, not climate or landscapes, which obviously do make things different. Difference isn't just distance and size. It's a very complex thing.
What up, y'all? I'm from Los Angeles, and I moved all the way to the south of France. Crazy, huh? Anyway, check this out. I'm in front of this store, this supermarket. This is called Auchan. But look, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something that you probably don't know. Still got me saying, let me show you. You guys notice in the whole vegetable area, right? No matter what vegetables you look at, there's no spray spraying all your vegetables. You feel me? There's no spray, whatever they, in America, think is water or whatever they have. There's none of that shit here. All the vegetables are just out. But watch this. This one is crazy. Now in France, in America, we refrigerate all of our milk. You buy it cold, you take it home fast, and you put it in the refrigerator. Well, in France, all the milk sits out. You don't need to refrigerate the milk until you actually open it. Until you open it is when it goes in the refrigerator. Now watch this. In America, y'all know, when we buy eggs, they're refrigerated also just like the milk. Watch this. Here in France, they're not refrigerated. They just sit out. You take them home, they stay out. And they taste better. But anyway, I bet you never knew that, though. I bet you never knew that. Can anybody in the comments tell me why is it that France is able to leave the milk out and leave the eggs out? What do we do different in America? Yeah, we can't leave our milk and eggs out. Or what's that water or that spray that y'all spraying on our vegetables? Y'all let me know. I want to know. People want to know. I'll holler.
For what?
Check it out, guys. This is how we pay here in America. You can see all the three options for tipping. 20% used to be the high end, 18% was okay service, and 15% was just, your baseline. But now they want 25%, which...
If you guys thought that was bad, look at this shit. 30% on the low end, mid-range 40% tip, and then 50% tip. These people are trying to charge us an extra half of the original price as tip. Now, this tipping culture is getting out of hand. Look, I'm all for tipping, except maybe when I'm going to pick up at a store. If I'm not sitting down in that store, I don't think there's any need to tip. Yeah, if you're sitting down at a store or you're getting food delivered to you, yeah, it's good to tip. Back in the day, 12 to 15% used to be like a really good tip. Now it's looking like you don't even have that options in some stores. Look at this. These restaurant owners are getting richer and richer while we as the customers, we have to pay the employees' salary. These corporations need to pay their employees a better salary, and they should stop tripping us into paying salaries for them. What do you guys think of this crazy rise in tipping prices or tipping percentages at the moment?
Can the 40 to 60-year-olds please take over?
Hell no, absolutely not. We've been working since we were 8. We've had paper routes at sunrise, mowing lawns at noon, bagging groceries by night. No, we don't want to take over. We want to sit down. For the first time in our lives, some of our kids are moving out. You understand what that means? That means for the first time in over 30 years, we might only be responsible for ourselves. And frankly, we don't even want to be responsible for that. We've been in crisis mode since Reagan was on TV and the microwave was considered advanced technology. We raised ourselves, then our siblings, then our kids. Some of us are even taking care of our parents. Then we raised the morale of every job where management said, hey, we're a family here, and then cut our damn benefits. And now you want us to run the world? Hell no. We are in our minimal maintenance, maximum sarcasm era. We don't want power. We want peace. We want to drink our coffee while it's hot. We want knees that don't sound like microwave popcorn. We want to not be the emergency contact. We are not interested in leadership. We are interested in lower back support. You don't want us in charge anyways. You know what our strategy would be? Fix it. If you don't fix it, duct tape it. If you can't duct tape it, hit it with a stick. If that don't work, get a bigger stick and maybe a hammer. We are the generation that survived hose water, secondhand smoke, and emotional neglect. You think we're going to host town halls at night about feelings? No, we're tired, we're seasoned, we're sarcastic, and we're finally gloriously approaching the phase of our lives where the only person we're legally obligated to manage is ourselves. You want us to take over? We did for 30 years. Now it's your turn. We'll be over here stretching, hydrating, and minding our own damn business.
For most of his life, Ed Bambus worked toward his American dream. But in 2019, at 82, he found himself doing what most retirees never imagined, going back to work.
You do what you have to do.
Bambus worked for General Motors for 40 years. The automaker's 2009 bankruptcy wiped out his pension. Then, his wife got sick and died. With bills mounting, he took a job at a grocery store.
I made it a point to try and be as friendly with people as I could, because that would take my mind off any depression because of my wife's death. I really, to this day, miss her. I still visit her grave every day.
Everything changed this week when a stranger approached Bambus with a simple question.
What's your dream? To live somewhat the life I was hoping for.
That stranger was influencer Sam Wiedenhofer. He set up a crowdfunding account to help finance Bambus's next retirement.
Do you know how much money has been raised?
No, sir, I do not.
Tomorrow, Bambus will get a check for more than $1 million.
What's the lesson you've learned from the events that have unfolded over the last few days?
People like the people.
Small actions with a very big return.
Oh, thank you.
Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
For the first time in American history, millions of seniors are going back to work. They thought they were done. They thought they had earned their rest. But under President Donald Trump, everything costs more. And now, even retirement has a price tag. In just 2 years, the basics have become luxuries. Groceries are up 25%, electricity up 40%, rent up 35%, and prescription drugs up 51%. Their pensions are shrinking, their savings drained, their fixed income's worth half of what they used to be. So they're back on their feet, behind grocery counters, driving city buses, mopping empty offices after midnight. These are the people who built America, who fought its wars, raised its families, and paid its taxes. And now they're fighting just to survive in the country they once built. They were told that hard work would earn them peace, that America would protect them when the work was done. But the promise has broken. Today, millions of seniors are working into their 70s, not for comfort, but for survival, because the cost of living keeps climbing while the value of a lifetime keeps falling. So here's the question. If the people who built this nation can't afford to rest, if retirement itself has become another job, then what happened to the America that was supposed to take care of its own?
The American dream. People growing up in America, they're always told that if you work hard, if you're willing to pay the price, then you'll be able to achieve your American dream. If you go to school, get a good education, then you'll be able to get your American dream. That is what each and every child in America is told. Fast forward, people have grown up, people have become literally adults, and they're telling you right now, American dream is not a reality for majority of Americans. That's what they say. Right now, you're being told majority of Americans are literally deciding whether to pay their rent or to live in a car, because rent right now is unbearable expensive. And some people will tell you, well, I happen to have like 3-4 jobs, but still I'm not able to pay my bills comfortably. I am struggling. I'm literally using SNAP benefits in order to supplement my income. Some end up telling people, you know what, I'm using my credit card so that I'm able to pay my daily needs. That is how majority of Americans are surviving. Right now, if you look at American economy, you have literally seen so many people have been laid off because companies have slowed down in hiring. Companies are laying off people because all has literally taken over. And yes, with the whole tariff war that happened just the other day. So when people go to the supermarket, they want to buy grocery, they realize they're paying triple of what they normally used to pay. You can literally go with a $50 and literally the type of stuff you've been able to afford when you go to the supermarket is less than what you used to pay 3 or 4 years back again. Why? Because there is inflation. Why? Because of the tariff war that happened just the other day. Prices have literally been trickled down to the consumer, who must pay that extra cost. Who is to be blamed? That is the question to ask. Who is to blame for that? The reality is, the policies that have been put in place is what is affecting American citizens. The policies that have been literally signed off by the government, the current government, is what is affecting the daily lifestyle of Americans. Look at the Affordable Care Act, the budget cuts that were done the other day. You're being told right now, parents are being forced, literally, to go into their pocket and afford and be able to afford some programs that were literally being catered for by the Affordable Care Act. So the big, beautiful bill that was passed just the other day, it literally had a lot of budget cuts. Right now, you're being told hospitals in the rural areas, some people are forced to travel miles and miles across from the rural area to towns, because rural hospitals have been shut down as a result of the budget cuts that were passed just the other day. You're being told right now, elderly homes, some of them are being shut down because some programs have been cut out of the Affordable Care Act. And some elderly right now, they're literally left stranded because, well, their programs are not, the Affordable Care Act program is not covering them. So for some families are forced to chip in from their own pocket. So that is the reality of people in America are facing right now. Look at the farmers right now. They look at the fertilizer prices. They're saying, well, it's expensive right now, I cannot afford it. You look at farm workers, they are no longer available. So now they are forced to pay extra money in order to afford those farm workers. And farmers are complaining, say, everything is expensive, I cannot afford it. So what's going on? Because this is not what we are promised. So who is to be blamed? That is the question people are asking. Who is to be blamed? Guys, I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts exactly. Who is to be blamed? So the Maga voters up there, they're crying, they're saying, no, we were given some promises and this is not what we were promised. So exactly where did the rain started hitting people, especially Maga voters? So the Maga voters are increasingly frustrated by high prices on groceries, prices, and of course, gas prices and insurance prices in the early 2026, creating internal conflict as they blame President Trump policies or lack of action for failing to fulfill campaign promises of affordability, with inflation remaining sticky despite claims of it being conquered. So, many supporters anticipate that immediate economic relief and an end to inflation after Trump took office in January 2025. However, in the year 2026, we are seeing that grocery prices have increased, housing costs has increased, and of course, literally everything in America has increased. And now Americans are literally forced to chip in extra. So what the promises that were made during the campaign have not been fulfilled. So America find life unbearable expensive. Rising gasoline prices as a result of the Iran war that is going on literally has affected people's pocket. People are forced to pay double or triple because prices have gone high, and some people say, you literally right now I cannot afford to go to work because gas prices are expensive, and me, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I cannot afford to pay that extra $100. Also, while the inflation rate may be rising slower than in the year 2022-23, the high base price remains, meaning daily expenses are still unaffordable for many Americans. And yes, you're being told over 50% of Americans, literally, they have less than $1,000 saved in their saving account. You're being told half of Americans, that's 50% of Americans, they're using their credit card to literally survive by paying their daily grocery bills using their credit card. Not the debit card, they're using their credit card to survive, to pay their bills for food, to pay their bill for the utilities, to pay their bill for their medical bills and all this stuff. So people are living with debt every single day in America. Also, a portion of the base of the Maga voter base is starting to direct their anger at Trump for neglecting to tackle the cost of living, with some voters rating his affordability approach very, very low. The reality is how a billionaire views the world is so different as compared to a normal person who depend on their 9 to 5 job or living paycheck to paycheck, how they view the world is differently. While a billionaire only cares about his profit and his bottom line, while a person who depends on their paycheck to paycheck will literally count each and every dollar that enters his account, and they'll be looking at ways on how to save or to live frugal in order to be able to survive and live comfortable below their means. So that is the reality of how Americans view lifestyle. So people who laugh all the way to the bank are the millionaires and the billionaires, while the people who literally are living, trying to save every single dollar and they're finding life so difficult, are the people who are in the lower class and the lower middle class, who are depending on their paycheck to paycheck, who are literally having 2, 3, 4 jobs every single day in order to survive in America. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys. But one thing is for sure, while MAGA voters right now, they're crying and asking for forgiveness from the rest of the Americans, people are so disappointed. They're angry because the promise that they made, we are going to make America great again, has not been fulfilled, and people feel betrayed. People are angry, and they're saying, this is not what we are promises. That's what MAGAs are saying. And the rest of Americans are saying, well, we told you, we warned you, but you never listened. Now Karma is here, so let's all face the music. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys, and please subscribe to my channel.